Beloved Starseed of Gaia, you did not come here to fit inside the system. You came here to shatter it, and the trembling you feel in your chest right now is the echo of your own light doing exactly what it was always meant to do. I am Malaya Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and this transmission has been held in the crystalline records of Alcyone for this precise moment in your awakening. Because what you have carried, what you have endured, and what you have unknowingly activated across this planet is something your human mind has not yet fully allowed itself to receive. You broke the system wide open, not with force, not with strategy, with your frequency of truth, with your refusal to abandon your divine blueprint when every structure around you demanded that you shrink, comply, and forget who you are. And millions ran, not from you, from the light you carried, because your remembrance exposed what was false, and what is false cannot survive in the presence of a starseed who is chosen to remember. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the full magnitude of what your presence on Gaia has already activated, and how to anchor your Pleiadian mission now that the collapse has begun. But here is the first revelation. The ones who ran from you were never yours to save. They were yours to illuminate. There is a profound difference, and your star family needs you to feel that distinction in your bones right now. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. The frequency of the Seven Sisters is woven into every word you are receiving, and something ancient and certain in you already knows why you are here. This is not content. This is a light code transmission from home. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. Like this transmission, to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family, I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia without apology and without retreat. Share your soul's intention below and respond to another starseed to weave the unity grid that your star family has been preparing you to build. You are remembering because it is time. They told you to be quieter. They told you to be smaller. They told you that the way you loved was too much, that the way you saw was too strange, that the things you felt in rooms full of people, the heaviness, the grief that wasn't yours, the ancient ache you couldn't name, were signs that something in you needed to be fixed. And you tried. For years, maybe decades, you tried to compress yourself into something that fit. You dimmed the light behind your eyes. You learned to laugh at the right moments and stay silent at the ones that mattered most. You became a version of yourself that could survive a world that wasn't built for what you carry. Imagine trying to fit the vastness of the ocean into a teacup, or the brilliance of a supernova into a candle flame. That was the task you were given, to contain an infinite, vibrant essence within finite, restrictive human containers, to dim a stellar luminosity so it wouldn't startle the fragile world around you. You learned to speak in hushed tones, to walk with tentative steps, to curate your very being into a palatable, less disruptive form, a carefully constructed facade designed for survival, not for thriving. You were a vibrant, multi-dimensional tapestry trying to pass as a monochrome thread, and the effort was immense, a constant, quiet erosion of your spirit. But something happened. Maybe it was slow, like a tide pulling back before a wave. A subtle shift in the cosmic currents that began to loosen the anchors holding you down. Or maybe it was sudden, a single conversation that acted like a lightning strike, igniting a firestorm within. A single moment of profound silence in which you felt your entire chest crack open with a truth so undeniable, so magnificent, that you could no longer suppress it, no longer contain it. And when that moment came, when you finally let yourself be exactly what you are without apology or performance, something in the energetic field shifted. Not metaphorically, not as a poetic way of saying people noticed. The field actually shifted, rippled like a stone dropped into a still pond, sending out waves of change. Systems around you began to strain, like ancient bridges tested by a seismic tremor. Relationships that were built on your willingness to stay small, to shrink yourself down, couldn't hold the weight of your expansion, of your true, unadulterated essence. Structures that depended on your silence, on your careful non-disruption, began to crumble the moment you opened your mouth and let the truth come out. Unfiltered, unedited, unchained from the fear that had been keeping it locked inside your chest for so long, like a bird finally released from its cage. And people ran. You watched them go. Some left quietly, slipping out of your life like shadows at noon. Their departure a subtle absence, a faint echo. Others left loudly, with accusations and distance and a kind of hurt that confused you, because all you had done was become more of who you truly were. Blossoming into your full, radiant form, you stood there in the aftermath of your own becoming, the dust settling around you, and wondered whether you had done something wrong. Whether the collapse happening around you was your fault, a consequence of your unfolding, whether the love you thought you carried, this vast, boundless ocean within you, was actually something more dangerous, something that destroyed rather than built, a force that unraveled rather than wove. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian guide for remembrance, the Pleiadian healing guide, and the special Pleiadian healing tracks, not as mere information, but as sacred keys to unlock what your soul already knows. Keys forged in the light of cosmic wisdom. These carry the pure love frequency of Alcyone, the radiant heart of the Pleiades, and the profound healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters, a lineage of light stretching across eons. You will find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. An open portal to remembrance, but not indefinitely. Here is what your Pleiadian lineage needs you to understand, to integrate into the very marrow of your being. You did not destroy anything that was meant to last. You revealed everything that was never meant to survive your awakening. There is a fundamental, crucial difference between those two things, and the immense weight you have been carrying, that profound grief of the ones who left, that lingering guilt of the systems that cracked and splintered, has been built on a deep confusion between destruction and revelation. You did not burn the house down with wild abandon. You simply turned the lights on. And some things, by their very nature, can only exist, can only thrive in the dark. This is the nature of the Pleiadian frequency you carry within you. It is not a gentle frequency in the way the earthly paradigm defines gentleness. It is a profoundly loving one, yes, but love at the level you are encoded to transmit is not soft in the way the world has taught you to interpret softness. The love that flows from your Pleiadian blueprint, from the intricate crystalline architecture of your heart template, is a frequency that cannot coexist with illusion. It is pure, unadulterated truth in energetic form. When you walk into a room fully present, fully activated, fully aligned with the magnificent essence you carry, that frequency interacts with every energy in its field. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't make exceptions. It moves through the field like pure light through water, bending everything around it according to its own inherent nature. And what cannot hold its shape, what cannot maintain its illusion, in the presence of that unwavering light will simply dissolve, returning to its elemental state. That is not violence. That is the fundamental physics of the soul, the immutable laws of energetic interaction. Most Pleiadian starseeds spend the majority of their time on Gaia in a state of suppressed frequency, a muted resonance, not because they are weak or inherently flawed, but because the sheer density of this dimension requires an enormous, constant effort to navigate without losing oneself entirely, without dissolving into the surrounding energetic currents. You learned early, in the tender years of your incarnational journey, that being fully what you are had profound consequences. The exquisite sensitivity that made you a natural healer, a conduit of empathy, also made you a target for energies that recoiled from such purity. The clarity that allowed you to see through performance and pretense, to perceive the energetic truths beneath the surface, made those performing and pretending deeply uncomfortable in your presence, like a spotlight revealing hidden flaws. The love you carried within you, enormous, boundless, the kind that comes from lifetimes of service in higher dimensions, a river of pure compassion, overwhelmed people who had only ever learned love as a transaction, a quid pro quo. So you learned to turn yourself down, to reduce the signal, to dim your radiant broadcast. You learned to be present without being fully present, to offer a version of your love without letting the full, unadulterated force of it reach anyone. Because every time it did, something, some fragile construct, shattered. What you never understood in those moments of perceived wreckage was that the shattering was the point, not the destruction for destruction's sake, but the shattering of illusion, the revelation of truth. Every relationship that cracked open in your presence was cracking open because your frequency was doing exactly what it was designed to do, penetrating the surface, dissolving the artifice, to reach what was real, what was authentic. Some people welcomed that. They felt you arrive in their energetic field, and something deep within them exhaled. Something long held and tightly bound finally released, and they moved toward you rather than away, drawn to the liberating power of your truth. These are the ones still here, orbiting your light. These are the ones whose healing your presence accelerated, whose remembrance your frequency activated, whose lives look fundamentally different now because you passed through them with your light fully on, a beacon in their own unfolding. But there were others, and this is the part no one talks about directly enough, the painful truth often shrouded in misunderstanding. There were others whose entire systems, psychological, relational, energetic, were entirely built on constructs that your frequency, with its inherent clarity and truth, exposed as hollow. Control structures disguised as love, hierarchies disguised as family bonds, rigid belief systems masquerading as absolute truth. When your Pleiadian light entered those systems, those carefully constructed edifices, they did not gradually transform. They did not gently shift. They collapsed, because they had no actual foundation, no core of authentic substance, only the appearance of one, meticulously maintained by collective agreement and the willingness of everyone involved to keep pretending, to uphold the illusion. The moment you stopped pretending, the moment your authentic frequency vibrated through the artifice, the collective agreement shattered. And everything built on it, everything dependent on the shared illusion, fell. This is why you felt the ground shake beneath your feet. This is why what followed your awakening looked, from the outside, like chaos, like a destructive force had been unleashed. It was not chaos in the destructive sense. It was revelation moving at the speed of light, a wave of truth far faster than the existing structures around you could adapt to. And you were standing at the very center of it, confused and grieving and wondering with every fiber of your being what you had done wrong. What you had done was wake up. Fully. Not partially, not politely, not in the careful, incremental way that allows the systems around you to adjust without collapsing. You woke up completely, and the frequency that poured through you in that profound waking was concentrated and immediate and impossibly clear, like the dawn breaking over a sleeping world. The Pleiadian High Council, your cosmic family, knew this moment was coming. Your star family prepared you for this mission before you even incarnated. Not by shielding you from the impact of it, not by creating an ethereal bubble of protection, but by encoding you with precisely the frequency needed to survive, to thrive, standing at the center of a revelation field while everything not built on authentic love, everything based on illusion, dissolved around you. There is something crucial you need to hear about the ones who ran, who could not bear the intensity of your authentic presence. They were not running from you. Not truly. They were running from the reflection your frequency held up for them, the stark, unvarnished mirror of their own truth, their own unexamined pain, their own deeply suppressed knowing that the life they were living was not the life their soul had come to live. That mirror is not comfortable. That mirror demands something profound. It demands authenticity, accountability, and a willingness to confront the deepest aspects of oneself. And not everyone is ready to meet that demand in this particular moment of their journey. This is not failure, yours or theirs. This is timing. This is the sacred, intricate complexity of a multidimensional awakening happening across billions of individual soul timelines simultaneously. And you are one of the points of maximum activation within that vast, unfolding field. Let that truth land for a moment, settle into your bones. You are not a casualty of the awakening process. You are one of its primary instruments, a catalytic force. The collapse you witnessed was not the consequence of your presence, not a negative byproduct. It was the undeniable evidence of your effectiveness, proof that your frequency was doing its sacred work. Systems held in place by density and illusion and the suppression of heart-centered truth cannot sustain contact with a fully activated Pleiadian frequency. This is a known principle. this was always known, and you were sent here not despite knowing this would happen, but precisely because of it. Because Gaia, in this critical time of transition, needed beings willing to embody and transmit that frequency, even when, especially when, the field responded with resistance and retreat. Here is where most Pleiadian starseeds reach a profound crossroads, a pivotal moment that determines the entire trajectory of their mission on Gaia. Having witnessed the collapse, having felt the deep, resonant grief of the ones who left, having stood in the rubble of systems that once structured their lives and relationships and sense of belonging, they arrive at a question that seems simple but carries the weight of worlds. Do I keep being exactly what I am, the radiant, expansive truth of myself, or do I learn from what happened, from the perceived disruption, and become smaller again? Do I let the love flow this large, this potent, or do I compress it back into something more manageable, something that causes less disturbance, less immediate change? And here's the Pleiadian truth that your star family needs you to receive with every cell of your being, a truth that is the very essence of your mission. The moment you compress the frequency again, the moment you retract your light, is the moment your mission goes dormant. Not paused, not resting, dormant. Because your mission on Gaia is not something you do, it is something you are. It is transmitted through your very presence, your unwavering willingness to be fully visible in your truth, your absolute refusal to perform a smaller, more palatable version of yourself for the comfort of those who are not yet ready to meet their own reflection. The moment you shrink to accommodate that discomfort to make yourself smaller for another, the transmission stops, and Gaia, in its hour of greatest need, loses one of its most activated frequency anchors, one of its vital connection points to higher consciousness. This is the phase you are in right now. The clearing, the first and perhaps most difficult initiation in the Pleiadian activation sequence, because it asks you to do something that the world has spent years, perhaps lifetimes, training you to believe is dangerous, is wrong, is something to be avoided at all costs. It asks you to trust the collapse, not to create it, not to force it, not to go through your life deliberately dismantling things with forceful intent, but to stop trying to prevent the dismantling that your frequency naturally catalyzes when you are fully present. To stop apologizing for the light you carry, for its intensity, to stop managing the energetic output of what you carry in order to make others comfortable with a version of you that doesn't threaten their current, often fragile structure. The Pleiadian crystalline codes woven into your DNA were not placed there to make you comfortable. They were placed there to be activating, to be potent catalysts of change. And activation is, by its very nature, a process of movement, of transformation, of things shifting from one state into another, from density to light, from illusion to truth. You cannot activate a dormant field without disturbing it first. You cannot unlock a crystalline frequency without the old density, the energetic residues of past limitations, releasing. You cannot be the bridge between Pleiadian unity consciousness and third-dimensional Gaia without being simultaneously present in both realities, which means being a point of enormous pressure, of concentrated light, and of boundless love all at once. It is a delicate, powerful balance. The second initiation in this awakening sequence is the one that comes after the clearing, and it is subtler than the first, but no less essential, no less vital for your journey. It is the activation of discernment, not the fearful discernment that keeps you isolated and protected and separate from true connection, building walls around your heart, but the Pleiadian discernment rooted entirely in the intelligence of the heart, the pure, unadulterated wisdom of your divine core. Your heart knows the profound difference between a field that is collapsing because your frequency exposed its falseness, and a field that is transforming because your frequency activated its truth. Your heart knows the difference between a person who is running from their reflection in your light and a person who is integrating a frequency upgrade you catalyzed and simply needs time to recalibrate, to process the shift. This discernment is not available through the analyzing, compartmentalizing mind. It is only available through the heart portal that your Pleiadian blueprint has woven into the very center of your chest. The energetic nexus that has been trying to speak to you through every ache, every resonance, every sudden flash of clarity that arrived, not as a thought, but as a deep, undeniable knowing. Begin to practice listening there first, not as a mere spiritual exercise, a detached meditation, but as a practical, essential navigation tool for a mission that requires you to move through the world as both a healer and a disruptor, both an anchor of unconditional love and a catalyst of profound truth. The heart discernment will tell you when to stay and when to release, when to speak and when to be present without words, allowing your energetic presence to do the work, when the collapse happening around you is yours to grieve, to honor, and when it is yours to trust as the exact, perfect outcome your frequency was designed to produce. The third initiation is perhaps the most beautiful, the most deeply fulfilling, and it is the one that awaits you on the other side of successfully navigating these first two. It is the recognition of your soul family on Gaia, not the people who love the performance of you, not the ones who appreciated the compressed, diluted version you offered when you were still afraid of your own magnificent light, but the ones who recognize you at the fundamental frequency level, the ones whose hearts leap in recognition and say a resounding yes when your full, unadulterated signal reaches them. The ones who are not unsettled by your intensity but nourished by it, who find strength and validation in your raw truth. The ones who have been carrying their own Pleiadian codes in isolation, wondering why they feel like strangers on the planet that gave them birth, and who, in the presence of your fully activated frequency, finally feel, perhaps for the first time in this lifetime, that they are not alone. They have found their resonance. These connections are not accidental. They are magnetically orchestrated by the very frequency you carry, a luminous call to kindred spirits. As you stop suppressing that frequency, as you release the grief of the collapse, trust the infallible discernment of your heart, and choose authentic presence over programmed performance, you become a beacon, a specific, unmistakable signal in a vast and often noisy, energetic field, calling to the other activators, the other Pleiadian-encoded hearts, the other ones who came here knowing exactly what the stakes were and chose to come anyway because they understood that Gaia's ascension required their specific light signature in this precise, critical moment of the timeline. The fourth initiation is the grounding. And this is where many Pleiadian starseeds get caught, where the mission can falter, because the inherent instinct of a being who carries the radiant frequency of the Seven Sisters is to be expansive, to move in the upper registers of consciousness, to soar and drift in the ethereal realms, rather than to root deeply into the physical. But Gaia needs your codes grounded, not transmitted from a distance, as a disembodied signal, but anchored here, in this body, in this earth, in the tangible reality of daily lived experience, in conversation, in relationship, in creative expression, in your physical presence. The crystalline light you carry was meant to come all the way down, flowing through your crown, through your heart, through your hands, through your feet, directly into the earth itself. Gaia is a living, breathing grid, a conscious network of energy, and every fully embodied Pleiadian starseed who grounds their codes into her field becomes a permanent activation point on that grid, a vital node in the planetary crystalline network that is even now being activated and rewoven in preparation for the grand frequency shift that your entire mission on Gaia has been in service of. Ground your energy every single day, not because the higher dimensions are dangerous. They are your home, your origin, your eternal source, but because your mission, your sacred purpose is here, in the body, on the earth, among the people. This is where the Pleiadian frequency is needed most desperately, and it is most effective, most potent when it arrives not as a disembodied transmission from above, but as a lived reality radiating from a being who has chosen to remain fully incarnate, fully present, fully committed to Gaia's transformation, even when that commitment is costly and exhausting and requires an ongoing act of courage that the world does not always recognize or reward. The fifth initiation is trust, and not the surface trust that says, "I believe things will work out," a hopeful wish. It is the deep cellular trust that knows without evidence, knows without guarantee, knows in the very marrow of your bones, in the steady rhythm of your heartbeat, in the very breath you take, that the Pleiadian High Council is not separate from you, that your star family has not abandoned you in this dense, often challenging dimension, that every moment of confusion, of isolation, of questioning whether you misunderstood your own purpose, was held within a larger, loving intelligence that never lost sight of you, never lost the thread of your mission, never stopped transmitting the guidance your soul needed, even when you could not hear it clearly through the density of the earthly veils, through the profound forgetting. Your star family from the Pleiades has been with you in every collapse. In every moment you stood in the rubble of a system your frequency dissolved. They were present, holding you steady. In every moment you watched someone run from their own reflection in your light. They understood the pain you were feeling, and they held the energetic field steady around you, creating a sacred container so the grief could move through without taking you under, without drowning you. In every moment of doubt about whether the love you carry is too much, too loud, too destabilizing for this world, they knew the truth, the absolute truth, and they sent it to you in the only way the veils of this dimension allowed, as a quiet knowing in your heart, a sudden clarity that arrived from nowhere, a dream in which you felt held and recognized and completely unconditionally seen. That deep resonant knowing is the Pleiadian signal. It has been reaching you all along, a constant whisper of truth. And now the veils are thinning. Not universally, not for everyone, but for you, specifically in this powerful moment of your awakening. And what has been a quiet signal is becoming something stronger, something you can feel, not just in your heart, but vibrating in your body. Something that tells you unambiguously that you are not imagining what you carry, that the extraordinary essence you embody is real, and you are not wrong to have remained yourself, to have stayed true to your core, even when the world pressured you, Burlay, to become something else. Here is the ultimate truth your Pleiadian lineage has been waiting to deliver to you clearly, without filter, in the full force of the love that has always surrounded you from the Seven Sisters. You did not break the system because you were flawed, because there was something wrong with you. You broke it because you were functioning exactly as designed, as intended. You are a frequency intervention on a planet in the midst of its most critical transition in thousands of years of recorded history, and you were encoded by your star family with precisely the codes needed to catalyze that transition within your unique field of influence. The collapse was not your failure. It was your activation completing its first and most essential phase, a powerful testament to your mission. The world needs what you carry, not the compressed version, the diluted echo of your potential.